DIYers, what's going on? Mike Borders with the Mike Borders channel. Hey, thanks for watching. In today's video, we are working on our Alpha 1 Gen 1 outdrive Mercruiser engine, and we're going to show you how to install a water pocket cover. Let's get started. All right, DIYers at the workstation now, and we are going to again install our new water pocket cover. And that little stand right there houses both the upper and lower unit. When together, it also holds the upper unit when it's disconnected from the lower unit. And I will leave a link down below in the comment section as well as description section on how to assemble that stand as well as the lower unit stand. They definitely come in handy throughout your projects of rebuilding them. However, to the water pocket cover. And the cover assembly, part number, it's a OEM Quicksilver 42724 Alpha 3. And that's going to go inside here. Here it is out of the packaging, and there's the housing. It's got a little hole here, the bar, the gasket, the bolts, and this little rubber insert, as you can see here, will go inside the housing. And take note of how I do this. The actual nipple or rubber portion that is sticking out, that will go in first, and you've got more space on top of the actual tab or nipple, and that is the top. So pinch this and slide it in. And I may need both hands, maybe not. And as you can see, again, it is a rubber insert, so carefully squeeze it or compress it and continue to shift it in place until it's properly seated and that nipple comes out that hole. Here it is. Again, compressing that rubber insert, just slide it right down and in place. And once you get that nipple in, kind of work it back up and to the sides and back down to properly seat that nipple in that hole. And let's go and open the gasket. With the gasket out, you can see on the other side just some print, and basically it's one long piece, and then they use the machines to cut it. And we are going to have this side up, mating with the bottom portion of the housing there. We are going to have that side down, mating with the portion in there. And no need to use any gasket sealant on this. You'll just carefully insert that and align it properly over the holes. And we strongly recommend vacuuming and cleaning that entire surface that is going to mate. Make sure there are no corrosion or any calcium buildup that will interfere with that seal, and that seal could fail, and you don't want that. What I'll do next is insert this. I'm actually going to Loctite that in place, and let's go grab the old part. Well, DIYers, here we are, old part on the left, new part on the right hand side. And can you tell the difference? Absolutely. A huge difference. Can't even make out that hole on the melted old part at all. Isn't that crazy? Again, if yours looks like this, replace it. Don't move forward in the project having that water pocket cover in that condition. Here's a quick view of the opposite side. Old on the left, new on the right. Big difference. From here, I'm going to remove this bar, and I'm going to properly make sure that this bottom portion of the housing is clean and wiped off. Prior to securing these bolts, I'm going to put anti-seize on the actual thread to make it easier to remove this housing down the road and replace it with a new one. I will open up the anti-seize and apply some anti-seize to each bolt thread. And all I'm going to do, you definitely want a towel accessible. Just work that anti-seize into the thread, as shown here. And as you can see, it gets pretty dirty. So again, have a towel available. And I will continue this process for the remaining 3 bolts. No easy way to do this, unfortunately. I've got all the bolts in the housing. Make sure that the circular indent is facing forward, basically toward where the U-joint bearing assembly goes into. Shift that down in place, and I am then going to secure all of those 4 7/16 bolts with this right here. And just like taking them off, baby steps putting them back in. Do not cross thread these. They should go in extremely easy. If they do not, back them out, realign them, and screw them back in. And because we are seating a gasket, you want to go in a specific sequence. Once I get all these bolts screwed in, I will tighten them by starting right here, hop to this side, 3 turns on that side, hop to this side, 3 turns, 3 turns, 3 turns, 3 turns until it is secured. Do not over tighten any of the bolts. Long extension and ratchet. And again, 3 turns, hop to the back one. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Again, we are properly seating the gasket. Water pocket cover is secured. Again, do not over tighten those bolts. Do it in sequence to properly seat that inner gasket, ultimately creating that watertight seal. What we will do next is install this rod here, but we are going to apply just a little bit of Loctite on this portion and then slide it into the rubber fitting. We will be using Loctite 680 retaining compound by Henkel, and the manufacturer strongly recommends to not use this on plastic. However, in our application, it will be going on copper and sliding into that rubber insert we installed on the plastic housing. I'll only go about a ½ inch up and basically apply it and use my finger to spread it around the bar. And do your best not to get any inside the bar. And as you saw, I did not apply much. And I'm going to shift this into the hole, and you want it as straight as possible. I'll tap it down with a hammer ever so gently. Here's the finished product. And again, the copper pipe is as straight up and centered in that housing or rubber insert as possible. And that Loctite is going to keep this copper bar in place the remainder life of that part. And that will actually connect to this upper portion here that comes out of your water pump or impeller. And real quick, as you hammer that in place, be very careful and gentle. You do not want to offset that rubber nipple that shifts into that little hole in the housing. And DIYers, that is it. That is how you install a water pocket cover. From here, do us a favor, below the video, you will see that thumbs up icon. Click on that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Definitely ring your YouTube bell. That would be very helpful to us. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks again for watching. And scrolling above is a link to a video. We are now going to disassemble this entire U-joint yoke assembly with the gears and bearings on it and rebuild a new one. So definitely check out that link.